The truth has been revealed as to why the Boston Bruins have sent down Fabian Lysell back to the AHL after his first game and found quite a bit of success in said game. We're going to be breaking down all the hidden truths behind this, and what Joe Sacco had to say may make a lot of fans very surprised about this. But before we get into all of the news, breaking down Fabian Lysell's move, we noticed that 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. Join me here on the channel. We are covering everything Boston Bruins, and the Bruins are making some weird moves. We know that, and this is not a surprise from what we've seen over the past few weeks and kind of making all the moves that they have, but this one makes a lot of Bruins fans very unhappy, and we're going to be looking at this pretty shocking move, to be honest with you, about Fabian Lysell. After this game, we saw the video, we saw everything that we've seen from Fabian Lysell. I thought that we were really going to see him in the NHL for quite some time. I thought that this game was really the one thing we've been waiting for. The one time that we've seen Fabian Lysell ready to go. Seemed like he was going to be here for the long run, and the way he played really made me feel like we were going to have a very good few next games for Fabian Lysell, but so much for that as the Bruins have sent him down to the AHL. Ty Anderson put this out, but we could have seen from everywhere else. Just wanted to choose this one. The Bruins have assigned Fabian Lysell to Providence, and the reaction to this move was not very good from Bruins fans. A lot of us wanted to see Fabian Lysell stay in the NHL, wanted to see him stay at this level as he looked pretty good. Didn't have too much production, 11 minutes time on ice, but the way we seen him play, the way that his game really translated to the NHL level was exactly what we were all hoping for. And even though he didn't make too much of an impact, nearly had the first assist, and he had it for about, I would say, 20 seconds before the stats got changed back over as Fabian Lysell didn't touch the puck on the goal that was on the ice. He ultimately did have a major impact on that play, using his speed, using his abilities that he has and has grown to become in the AHL, and the players he's become really had an impact in the game on specifically that goal. You know, your first NHL game, NHL debut, 11 minutes time on ice. We don't expect him to go out there and do crazy things, but we saw a very solid game and one that likely should have kept him in the NHL roster for quite some time, but that is not the case. And this is what Scott McLaughlin put out about what Joe Sacco had to say on the matter and why this move was made. Sacco said Lysell didn't hurt his chances to get another opportunity at some point, cited the matchup versus Washington as a reason they're going to with a different lineup. Now, I don't hate this. I don't like I don't hate the idea of what Joe Sacco had to say here, that it really is a matchup thing. The Washington Capitals are a very good team now that Alexander Ovechkin's coming back. I've been mentioning the schedule quite a lot here on the channel, really going over that these are going to be in a few important games coming up next for the Boston Bruins, and they're going to need their best players going at it. And Fabian Lysell, although he hasn't proven that he can be in this lineup full-time yet, this was a very good start, and a lot of people wanted to see what he could do against a better team like the Washington Capitals. Now, a lot of people are also kind of contributing that the Washington Capitals are a very physical team. They're a big, heavy team that will be willing to really shoot the puck from anywhere, get in front of the puck, and lay the body. And that's not too different from how the Columbus Blue Jackets are. The Columbus Blue Jackets certainly are not the greatest team, but they have the sense of just trying to dog out a game. And that's what a lot of NHL teams don't have, but they have very similar to the Washington Capitals. So I don't see too much of a game difference against the Washington Capitals. I guess I do want the Boston Bruins, in this case, do want to bring out all of their best talent for this game. However, there are some opportunities where you can certainly play Lysell here, and especially in these upcoming tough games, they're going to need to have everybody going and potentially bring him back up at some point on this upcoming streak of games. And I want to pull this up before we do here. The lines at practice this morning, going with Nikita Zadorov, Pastrnak, Marchand, Lindholm, Coyle. The top two lines, the top six players are not changing. That's pretty much consistent with what we have. Going from Kepke, Frederic, and Brazeau to Beecher, Kaslik, and McLaughlin, and Wahlstrom as the 13th forward. I really, in my mind, can see many opportunities here where Lysell can fit into this lineup. You know, he played with Brazeau last time and Trent Frederic. That line, I like the look of it. You know, Brazeau and Lysell, I think, very well suited each other's game style. Like, we see Brazeau going 110% every time. Fabian Lysell is a very quick forward, something the Bruins don't really have. And being able to put a guy like Brazeau, who's chugging every time he's on the ice, to Lysell, who has that natural speed, really complement each other. And although we do see Kepke, Frederic, and Brazeau, I don't hate that line either. We have to admit, Trent Frederic has not been playing too well as of late. Having Cole Kepke on that line, getting a nice goal, getting back on the score sheet last game as well, and Brazeau, who's really found that home on the third line, is going to be something that they want to have against the Capitals. But I also see Lysell very much working on this line and very much fitting in to really anywhere. And you have Oliver Wahlstrom there as well, someone who we want to see more of in the lineup. Mark McLaughlin has played well. We gotta give him credit where credit is due, but I do likely want to see Lysell and Wahlstrom in over him. And although we see Mark McLaughlin in here for morning skate today with the game tomorrow coming against the Capitals, this may be the best matchup at the time, but I think that something like this may not stick as good as it would be if it was Oliver Wahlstrom or Fabian Lysell. So Fabian Lysell certainly has this option of coming back up here again, as you see from Joe Sacco. It did not hurt his chances, and the way Lysell reacted to this game, the way he felt, was something that is very exciting for Bruins fans, and this is what he had to say. It's just unbelievable. Definitely special for me and my family, for sure, and everybody that's helped me along the way. And that was the reaction after his debut, and a lot of people are also considering and thinking about from reports that his family was here for, the Christmas break and put him up in the NHL, get them to watch a game from him. That could also be a factor, but I do think that putting Lysell in this lineup gave him the opportunity to really acknowledge that he has the chance of playing in the NHL still again this year for much, much longer, and letting him know that the Bruins think that he is still part of their plan. And I do think that that was a very big part of this. We've seen Fabian Lysell's kind of name be floated around everywhere. A lot of people saying that he's not ready. Is they going to be a part of the plan? And I do think this was a serious message from the Bruins saying that, yes, you're part of our plan. We're planning on keeping you in this lineup at some point, but right now we need to focus on these upcoming few games. And I think that was a very good message to send to Fabian Lysell. Just give him a heads up, like, hey, you're still important to us. We're still planning to get you in here and really be the star of the show. But we do have a few more quotes here. And a lot of people were also thinking this was a paper transaction for Mark Dever here. Fabian Lysell was on the ice for Providence practice this morning, in case you were wondering. So that kind of ruled out all of this paper move that really was initially thought of going from last night into this morning. I was waiting to see if this was a paper move or not, because if it was a paper move, would have been much ideal for the Bruins to be able to do this, give them the move for the extra day off. But the fact that Lysell was with Providence today really eliminates all thoughts of this being a move solely to be on paper. But right now, we see Fabian Lysell back in the AHL, where he's playing a very good game, but ultimately, I want to see this game translate to the NHL at a very consistent level. As I mentioned, we did see Fabian Lysell not do too much against on the game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. +1 on the one where he nearly had an assist, didn't ultimately touch the puck, but with 11:32 on ice, it was a very productive game, as I mentioned, and we still want to see more from him. But for that being your first game, having the impact, really getting him a feel of the NHL game, I think that was the big part of what they wanted to do, the big part of what worked, and I think the big part of what they're planning on trying to do for the next few games as we come here into a very heavy schedule. I don't believe I have it here. I do not. But the schedule coming up, we got the Leafs, we got the Rangers, we got the Capitals, we got a few more games against some very tough teams. Tampa for 2, Florida. A lot of ones that they're going to want to win, and hopefully we do see Lysell in some of these games. So let me know what you think about the Bruins' plan here of Lysell. What do you think that the meaning was? Do you think this was the actual truth that they just wanted to change up the lineup for the Capitals game, or do you think that this is a bigger, more deeper, interesting thoughts? Let me know what you think about all of that. But this is all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.